Okay, so I'm Emma. I'm the lab director at the Evewell Fertility Group. I am based primarily in Harley Street. I've been in embryology for 20 years. So I've got 8 Geris across 2 different sites, and we are 100%, all of our embryos are cultured in time lapse. Yes, we do infectious cases when we're not freezing. We don't have the tanks to freeze in, but we do have the capabilities of culturing. We have a relationship with another clinic that will take the frozen embryos into infectious tanks. Yes, because you can isolate the cases into one chamber. They're easy to clean and you don't have to interrupt anyone else's culture. So the Geri has enabled us as a team to start a very flexible working arrangement due to the Geri Connect that allows one of my staff to be removed from the lab every day and do all the embryo grading, to the point that if there is any problems, that member of staff can actually stay at home, and therefore we're never a staff member down when there's unforeseen circumstances. We use the Geri to almost, the person on the outside looking into the Geri Connect will coordinate all the operations within the lab, allowing the lab staff that are in the lab to remain in the lab focused and undisturbed. Yeah, they're very easy to use. You have to pre-indent the wells within the Geri dish with a fine pipette, but you can just use a flexi pipette to preload, and then after that it's very easy. There's never ever any bubbles in the Geri dishes. So being able to see the time-lapse images so clearly allows you to see the beginning developments of embryos, which is really crucial when deciding on which embryo to transfer. An embryo that does unusual first and second divisions do not correlate as highly with ongoing pregnancy rates than those that do. So when you're trying to choose between a group of embryos, having that seamless video from the beginning of the embryo development after the fertilisation is absolutely crucial in deciding which embryos should be used in which order. Yeah, definitely. We used to actually use the Geri as a dry incubator when we first installed it a few years back, and then we added the humidification, and the utilisation rate for all age groups has gone up between 5 and 10% of good blastocyst formation. So I've definitely seen an advantage in putting the Geris into a humidified chamber event. So both labs have been built with an island in mind, so that all the flow hoods work outside of the island, and the Geris sit really well in the middle of that island, so that the embryologist can work around them independently without bumping into each other. All the gases run into the mixed gas cylinders, which is in an external part of the building, not too far from the lab, but the lines sit in underneath the island and run seamlessly into the mixed gas. We don't have any other gas running into the lab. We have one bench top that we use for FETs and egg freezes, but that also runs off mixed gas, so there's no need for anything else. Yeah, absolutely, because we can turn that chamber off, isolate that chamber, and it doesn't interfere with the remaining 5 chambers that can still be used to culture the embryo. So you would reduce your capacity in the lab by 1 patient's chamber rather than multiple patient chambers, because you can simply isolate that chamber off and turn it off. It's absolutely exceptional service. I have never ever had an issue getting hold of anyone if we've got a problem, and it's all sorted and dealt with in a couple of days at most. There's always a solution, and there's always someone at the end of the phone that can help you troubleshoot most of the things that may or may not be needed to go wrong. Someone is always on hand to call. So the Geri is larger than most of the time-lapse systems, other time-lapse systems, but what I would say is the fail-safe that you get by using the Geri, that if anything at all goes wrong with one of the chambers, you are not left without an incubator at all. It's a completely functional entity with single compartments, so that would be my reason to purchase a Geri. I also really think that the relationship with the Geri Connect and the remote working functionality is much better than some of the others I've seen personally.